In a go international, where you say, hey.
Still here. It's still the Inner Gold Show, and we're still here with Marla Brown. So, before the break, we was discussing the transition from Marla being a dancer and doing very well, winning numerous accolades, appearing on TV, to now making the transition to being a performing artist. So, Marla, your debut as an artist took place at the world famous Jazz Cafe at an event celebrating Bunny Striker Lee's 46th year anniversary. That's quite a big deal, really, to be part of. You know, I'm impressed. The more I see what you've achieved already, I'm like, wow, that's a good look. Now, obviously, you've performed numerous times on stage as a dancer. So how did it feel now making your first performance as an artist?
I kind of got a head start in it because after Dad died, we did a lot of tribute shows abroad, myself and my sisters and my brothers, but separately. But with my sisters, we'd always sing together to celebrate Dad's life. So that was my little moment of truth. But the Jazz Cafe, I opened that show and I was so nervous because it was literally Marla Brown on stage. And I didn't know people, how they would react. I know they'll be like, oh yay, finally Marla, someone of Dad's children is on stage. But I literally just, you know, fell into the moment and it was amazing.
So I can imagine now you've performed and there must have been applause from every angle of the cafe.
Yeah, of course.
Encore,
I was shocked, yeah.
Forward. Yeah,
Yeah,
so...
man.
How did it feel now getting applause for you being Marla Brown singing on a microphone compared to Marla Brown dancing with the Adidas tracksuit and the group of people behind you?
To be honest, I don't know if I felt any different because no matter what you do, when you see people smile, you know it's an accomplishment. So I couldn't tell you if there was a differentiation in feeling, but the fact that I was able, because I performed one of my first songs that I wrote, Caught Up, and then I sang Dad's Words of Wisdom. So to know that I was able to showcase my work and Dad's at the same time, I think that's when I felt most achieved, because people appreciated it and, you know, they could see I wasn't just doing Dad's music for the sake of it. It was more of a deliverance, you know.
100%. Well, I've had the honour of seeing you perform, you know, live at Vibes and Pressure alongside our brothers from another mother, the Royal Sounds. Big up the Royal Sounds anywhere you are. But I'm not going to lie to you, yeah, I'm glad that I get this opportunity to tell you. I was there and I was even reasoning with the Royal Sounds drummer. I was around him. Big up Carl One Drop, anywhere you are, yeah. We was there reasoning, talking about the set and whatnot. And he didn't tell me that Dennis Brown's daughter was just going to pop out of nowhere and bless up the stage. And you did one of his songs. I was singing it to myself last night. But yeah, that's it. Okay, now I've got the title. So you were singing that. And I was just like, wow, like the spirit of Dennis is definitely in here. Like I could definitely feel it. And I could feel the vibe. So, first of all, before we go any further, how did the link up firstly come about with the Royal Sounds?
We met on social media. They followed me on Instagram and I followed back because I saw Royal Sounds. Who are they? So I just checked out their page and saw they were a band. And a Rasta band at that. So, you know, it only felt right to see their work. And at the time, I wanted to connect with other musicians in London because I think reggae is important to get that sound and expression concrete here. And literally just hit them up and said, I'm looking for a band. Where are you based? Can we link up? They're like, yeah man, forward. And I did, and literally told them my vision. They actually came to my house, Jassy and AJ, and we had a little meeting and I played them some of my songs and I told them what I wanted to do. And they were on it straight away. And then I met with the rest of the band, Ashanti and Carl, and literally we just connected instantly. You know, the vibration was strong, and literally just hit it off straight away.
And the rest is history, as they
Not
say.
history yet.
So
We've created some works together. We've done some live recordings that we want to put out soon. But in time, we'll get to share that with you all.
definitely, well, you know where we are. We look
Yeah,
forward
man.
to sharing that with the people. And recently, we've had been in talk. They've been, you know, on the line. Russ Semper
Yeah.
was on the line recently, premiering their latest single that they've got called Prepare. So the link's there. So we look forward to hearing those works, really and truly. Now, that night as well, you performed some of your dad's tracks, which we mentioned. And like I said, I say it in a different way. I was mesmerised and I thought it was quite magical.
Aww.
So how does it feel to be performing tracks that your dad wrote?
It's always a joy because dad's as we said, dad's catalogue is huge. So to know that everyone pretty much loves the same songs, it's nice because we can connect on that level. Even if we don't speak the same language, we all will love the same. And you do that a lot with dad's music. But it was more when I was in Jamaica last year, because I moved over last year. They did a tribute show for dad. And I performed a vast amount of his songs. That was when I was like, this is it, you know? People, you don't really get to know who appreciates dad's songs and what it does for their life. And a lot of dad's songs, they all have a lot of substance. So to reason on those songs and see how it transforms people's life, that's the greater reward from performing dad's songs.
Or even for us as younger youths coming through, a lot of my childhood memories involve Dennis Brown. And to be honest, going back in my life and thinking of going to weddings, christenings, any time a D Brown song, like, someone will put, every grandma, every uncle, auntie knows the words to Dennis's song. It's quite, I mean, even me, I know the words. I'm like, what? I knew that all this time.
Even my nieces and my nephew, they even know my dad's songs now. And it's shocking because you're like, the music forever will live on. I know we say it all the time, but it truly does through every generation. And
it shows the skill of his songwriting, because for the things that he was saying then to still be relevant now, that's a skill in itself. Whereas I was talking with a friend recently and we were saying that a lot of songs that are being written now, if we look at 5 years time, 10 years time, will people remember those songs?
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
I think that's why it's important to kind of draw on life itself, because life is a cycle and we pretty much do experience the same things, obviously on different levels, but it's always nice to reflect because, as I said, generations will learn from that.
100%. Now, you mentioned straight hot off the press that you're going to be working with the Royal Sounds, or you have already worked with them, and there's going to be recordings coming soon. But is there any other UK reggae artists at all that you would have collabed with or you would like to collab with in the future?
Reggae based.
Or any, could be anyone, could be anyone.
Well, I met Randy Valentine at, when Terrace Riley was over. What's that place? Is it in Kentish Town? Is it the Forum?
The Forum, yeah.
I met him there and he was like, do you know, I never know you. Like, he was going crazy. So we vibed from then, and we've been talking, so we may have some stuff in the future for you guys. But
internationally? Into any
I
way you
have
want.
quite a few works in the making.
Managers looking like PR.
I don't want to say, I don't want to give up too much, but I am working on quite a few things. Even like production wise, you know, Clive Hunt, he's now doing a cover album, tribute album for Dad.
Right.
So I've been working with him. Damien and Stephen are producing my soon-to-be album for next year, but we're working on some singles at the moment. And obviously I'm going back to Jamaica, so I have quite a bit of work there with some people.
So there's a lot to come.
There's a lot to come.
Now, you're part of a golden generation in the sense that there's people like your dad, Alton Ellis, there's like Christopher, Augustus Pablo, Addis, you know, you've got Andrew Tosh, and you're now part of that group Like even Chronix, you could say, is part of that group because his dad was Chronicle and was also a performer. So firstly, what are your thoughts on this golden age of artists like yourself who are coming through from having such great parents?
Nothing but a blessing, literally. It's nice to have a voice to communicate to everyone on a global scale, because it's limited when you don't have that platform, you know. And it's for this generation now, they're putting it to good use and communicating realness. And sometimes that's missing. We get overshadowed with, you know, materialism and superficial things in life. But the artists of today are drawing on, you know, love, unity, respect, honor, you know, and faith. And that is, I think, the keys of life. And, you know, they're upholding it, bro. Go on.
Well said, well said. Now, your dad was well known to be friends with a lot of the foundation artists that my father and a lot of the other fathers would have listened to. And these are people that you might have seen around the house, or when you go to Jamaica, you might get the privilege of linking up with certain ones. So are there any of the foundational artists off the top of your head that have inspired you?
In Jamaica, I'd say obviously Freddie McGregor, Beres Hammond, they're all my uncles. So inspiration-wise, it was always love, honour and respect, you know. And I have to give thanks for that all the time.
Okay, so this is now where we get to talk about your music, because recently on my timeline there's been a track or a video. Now it started as a track, now it's a video, and I believe it is with Royal Order.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you know now what I'm talking about. Better Days.
My very first single.
Yeah, and a great single. It is one that we've been supporting and playing on the show. So firstly, how did that collaboration with Royal Order come about?
I connected with Junior Rodigan. Last year I put out a tribute song for Dad, just a tribute song called Here Comes the King, and I put that out on his birthday, February the 1st. And Junior Rodigan, he's from Boston.
Yeah.
He literally fell in love with that song, and he wanted Royal Order to do a dub version. So once myself and King Ivy are from Royal Order, we were reasoning, and he sent me over some rhythms. And as soon as I heard the smart rhythm, I was like, yeah man, I have to write to this tune. And Better Days came.
Well, I think after that now, it's only right that we let the people hear the track. Would you like to introduce it?
Sure. Family, please listen and love and appreciate my official single, Better Days, produced by Royal Order Music and Greenstone Music.